This is take 15 of the intro because I cannot get it to where I want it. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that this one is right. I'm using it no matter how stupid or cringy it is. This is going to be the intro to the video. All right, let's get started. Dramatic entrance, go. There's one thing I know about you just because you clicked on this video. That one thing is that you don't have as many coins in FIFA 17 as you might want. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do in this video is give you two options. Your first option is watch the rest of this video. I'm going to show you what you need to do during Team of the Season to get as many coins as you need to get your Pele Holic God Squad so you're living like luxury for the rest of FIFA 17. Or your option number two. You can check out playerhot.com, use the discount code ELITE, ELYYT, at checkout, get yourself some cheap and reliable coins, and they're quick as shit. They're literally the best coin website. But there's always risk when you buy coins. So those are your two options. You got to weigh it out. Which one do you want to do? You want to watch the rest of the video, or do you want to check out playerhot.com, link in the info section below? I benefit either way. I'm going to be real with you. But it's just up to you. So let's go ahead and get into the video for everybody who chose option one. ESOS, Elite here. In all seriousness, we're going to look at the market crash from Team of the Season in FIFA 16. So we're going to use Footbin here, and we're going to just look at the price of Vieira throughout Team of the Season and the crash before the crash. Now, if you guys don't understand the concept of the crash before the crash, it's essentially when people panic sell all their cards when Team of the Season is announced in preparation for the Team of the Season crash, ultimately causing the market to crash before the actual crash, which can actually lead the crash before the crash to be even larger than the actual crash. Now, if we take a look at Vieira here, we can see the crash before the crash happened, right about here. On Wednesday, April 27th, that is 2 days before Team of the Season, which is released on April 29th. You can see a huge rise in price on April 29th. So on April 27th, it goes from 670k up about 50,000 coins to when Team of the Season is actually in packs. Why does this happen? The first reason for this happening is because everybody has sold these cards in preparation for Team of the Season to drop the prices down, and so when Team of the Season drops, everybody has this false idea that prices are going to be plummeting, but realistically, a lot of people are buying on the first day of Team of the Season because they have that idea, and it causes prices to go back up. But just because prices rise there doesn't mean they stay risen throughout Team of the Season. Team of the Season lasts for over a month, so you're gonna see a dip in prices. As you can see, across the first month, you see a big drop in prices. It goes from 724k, and in about a month, it goes all the way down to even dipping below 600k. That's a pretty significant drop. You see a couple times where it recovers towards the end of Team of the Season, and then after Team of the Season, it takes an even bigger drop to reach its lowest point that it was during FIFA 16. And then over time begins to recover again, reaching all the way back up to over 800k. So hopefully you guys can see the profit that is there to be made on these cards. And hopefully it gives you a better idea on when cards are going to drop, when cards are going to rise. Now obviously you can't just, you know, match these dates with this year because Team of the Season is starting about a week, a little bit over a week, maybe 2 weeks later than it was last year. So you kind of have to push it back and at least think about that according to what it starts on May 12th this year. So push it back like 2 weeks, and then it should correlate pretty well. So this year, though, we have Weekend League, which could cause cards to recover a lot quicker. And you also have squad building challenges, which could inflate cards' prices temporarily, depending on how long that card is needed for a squad building challenge. So those are things you've got to consider, and we'll get a little bit more into that at the end. But first, since we did Vieira, I'm going to look at a card that's not as elite and see how he changed in price throughout the packs being opened in Team of the Season, because obviously Vieira, a very hard card to pack, is not going to be as affected by cards being packed over and over and over and over again and listed onto the market, because Vieira's got a lot of demand and not so much supply as somebody such as like Ander Herrera. So let's go ahead and look at a card, maybe Ander Herrera or somebody a little bit less expensive. So for the less elite card, I chose David Alaba. He's not too expensive in FIFA 16. I didn't want to make it too cheap, like I mentioned, Ander Herrera, or too expensive, say Marco Reus. So I kind of found something in the middle. David Alaba, I thought would be a good example to use. So David Alaba, going into April 29th, as you can see, the crash before the crash did impact his card, similar to what we saw in Vieira. He went from, 30,000 coins on Xbox all the way down to going to 20,000 coins on Xbox. And then when the team of the season was actually announced, he does start to rise back up. Not as significantly as Patrick Vieira did, but he did begin to rise back up again from what he was during the crash before the crash. Another example of you being able to buy during the crash before the crash and selling during the first couple days of team of the season. Then after more packs being open, you can see the drop in prices over time, going all the way down to under 20K on Xbox, all the way down to about 17,000, 16,000 at times on Xbox, before he kind of finds his place there at about 16K. And then after Team of the Season's over, you can see him start to rise up again and kind of recover in price, but never to the point that they were before Team of the Season. So Team of the Season has a permanent impact on these cards. They'll never be as expensive as they once were because of this crash. But hopefully this gives you a better understanding of when cards rise, when cards will drop. And what you should probably do over the course of Team of the Season is ultimately liquidate, but there are times in where you can flip cards for profit, especially buying during the crash before the crash, which is happening as I upload this video, and then selling in the first couple days of Team of the Season. Alright, now that we have a better idea on how prices are going to fluctuate throughout these next couple of months, let's go ahead and talk about squad building challenges and how FUT Champs is going to affect these prices, causing certain cards to inflate at times and causing certain cards to drop at times. So let's go ahead and begin with talking about what EA actually released today. So as you can see on your screen right here, it's the exact text from EA's announcement. It's the 24th Team of the Season player. A fan favorite from last year returns. A 24th Team of the Season player will be available exclusively as a FUT Champs daily qualifier tournament reward on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Online tournaments on Xbox 360 and PS3. So it doesn't look like they've excluded anybody from this. Everybody has an opportunity to get these cards. Exclusive really does mean exclusive. The 24th TOTS player will not be available in PAX, SBC, or on the transfer market, and the extra player will be available for select leagues only starting each Monday on the duration of Team of the Season. Now, you can only take a guess on what select leagues they're going to choose. I suspect that it'll probably be Premier League, Ligue 1, Bundesliga, CALCIO, and maybe Eredivisie, or obviously La Liga, and maybe Eredivisie, possibly the Portuguese League. Nothing really going to be in the Saudi League, probably not going to do anything for these off leagues, the Ukrainian League, the Russian League. You can't expect anything for those leagues, but for the big five leagues, the Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, Ligue 1, and CALCIO, you can expect at least a player from each one of those five leagues. That would make perfect sense to me, considering those are the main five, and then they normally do the off leagues like Russian League and Saudi League during the weekends. So that's what we should expect. And then when it talks about it being exclusively as a FUT Champions Daily Qualifier reward on Xbox One and all the other consoles, you can expect that the requirements are probably going to be specific for that league. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to put together teams if you want these cards, put together your teams now, and then pick up even more cards from that league that you think people will be buying to compete in these tournaments. I'd say that players such as Douglas Costa, who are very cheap and overpowered, probably be used in the Bundesliga tournament and the qualifier. Now there's a couple more things that you guys got to consider. If there are these knockout tournaments to get these SBC cards, it's going to make it much more difficult for the less good players to qualify, which is going to make Weekend League a bit harder for the players who are actually qualified. So that's something you can expect, not really related to trading, but something that this could cause. Next, we're going to talk about the Team of the Season bonus reward squad building challenge. It is states that it is an even bigger reward awaiting fans who stay active throughout the entirety of Team of the Season. Each Tuesday during Team of the Season, fans will have 72 hours, 3 days, to complete a new bonus reward SBC. The more you complete, the bigger the reward is. Very similar to what we saw during Foot Birthday. If you do it every single time, you will get a better pack. I ended up getting a 100k pack from Foot Birthday. Didn't get jack shit in it, so it's up to you guys if you want to keep doing this. I don't see that there would be any reason not to do this, because normally they're very cheap and easy to do, and the reward is an ultimate pack. That includes a guaranteed Team of the Season player. So now that it includes a guaranteed TOTS player, I think it's definitely worth doing every single one of them. You'll most likely get a very shit Team of the Season, but a couple people probably be getting lucky getting those Messis and the Ronaldos. Last thing in their statement just regarded the SBCs that had already been dropped for the 84 plus Team of the Week guarantees, and then we should see the league-specific upgrade SBCs where you throw in a whole bunch of non-rare cards and get a few cards from the certain league that you did it for. So something simple like that. Doesn't look like we should be getting anything really exciting squad building challenge-wise unless they announce that sometime later or just throw them out randomly, which I do hope that we get some player SBCs or some big SBCs to get excited about, because the SBC part of Team of the Season is not looking so hyped up right now, so I'm hoping that we see a little bit more from that soon. Now we've got a better idea on how cards fluctuate throughout Team of the Season and how SBCs and Foot Champs are going to affect the prices of cards. Now let's go ahead and talk about which cards specifically you're going to want to buy and flip during this Team of the Season. So we said there is going to be a daily knockout tournament that requires you to play and win to get a Team of the Season untradeable card. So for each league, you're probably going to need, and this is just a guess, but it's a pretty good estimated guess, that there's going to be a requirement of just building a team from that league to get that Team of the Season card for each specific league. So let's say it's the Premier League week, and the daily knockout tournament gives you Eden Hazard, for example. You're probably going to need 11 players from the Premier League in your starting 11 to get this requirement done to play in the tournament. So you got to think, what players are going to be bought the most to put together a quick team to play in this tournament, which a lot of people are going to be doing. You got to think maybe Musa or Martial, Smalling, Conte, Begovic, Butland, Danny Rose, Bellerin. All these guys who are cheap but overpowered are going to be your focus. Now this goes for every single league. Let's say Bundesliga would be coming up. You would want to pick up cards like Douglas Costa, Socrates, maybe Piszczek, possibly going with Hector, the left back, maybe Farman, the goalkeeper. A lot of different cards like that you're going to want to be picking up, because those are the players that everybody's going to be buying because they're cheap and they're good. So those are the players to focus on. So since Premier League is expected to be first, now you could see EA throw a curveball and make Bundesliga first, just like they threw a curveball at us during Team of the Year when they made attackers first. And since Bundesliga actually has a timer and a fan vote, you could see them being first, but let's just assume it's Premier League. We're going to go ahead and pick up players like Martial and Musa and those kind of players, because those are the players that everybody's going to be going out and buying to complete this daily knockout tournament to get this SBC card. So Martial was about 7,800 yesterday. Looks like he's actually rising in price as we speak, and right now you can get him for 7,900. Got him with a catalyst on him. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Getting him on bid is a good idea. Getting him on snipes is a good idea. And preparing for it this way, as you can see, those ones that were up for 8K are gone, and now there's only an 8,100 there, so I think I got a pretty good deal on that. You can go get players like Smalling, who are used in nearly every single weekend league, so especially if it's specific to Premier League, Smalling's going to be used quite a bit. And you can see Smalling is about 7,500 coins right now. And they should continue to rise as the week goes on. I think that in about a week and a half, these cards could easily be about 9,000-10,000 coins with everybody picking them up for the daily knockout tournament. So right now, you can see you've got an anchor on them there. So consider the chemistry styles when you buy. Getting them on bid, as I said, very good idea. Send them to the transfer list. You can go with bigger cards, but just know that if you're getting players like Inform De Bruyne or Inform Aguero, those big cards aren't going to be bought as much for a daily knockout tournament, because the players who who are already qualified for the weekend league and just playing this daily knockout tournament to get this team of the season card, they're really not going to be buying these big cards just to win the team of the season card for 4 games. So those probably won't rise just like these small overpowered cards will. So that is something to consider when you are going into these knockout tournaments. And you guys know exactly how they fluctuate now. I think that's going to be it for today's video. And if it did help you out at all, be sure to slap a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I hope you enjoyed your stay at the Elite Suite. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out!